Hi Wes, this is Jim Gillis with Win My Vote, and thanks so much for getting back to me. I don't have my video camera on right now because I'm working remotely and it's just not set up behind me to do that. Anyway, I did want to give you a quick little demo of the platform that I mentioned in my original message as well as this one here, and also be really clear about my intentions, and that is I'd like to work closely with the candidate coordinator or instead of the candidate coordinator, or something, a mixture thereof, whether you delay it or whatever it may be. But I see a lot of potential in you guys leveraging Win My Vote in the platform, and obviously me working with you together on the back end to standardize and organize candidate profiles up and down every ballot in the country. And I can give you a quick example of that and how the platform works. Voters are free and they can sign up with just an email address or social media account, and without entering any personal information, just a zip code, we create for them their own online interactive sample ballot. But it's far more than that. Win My Vote is really sort of an everything voting site for the voter, sort of like a civic engagement site. So as a voter, I can find my polling place, I can check on my voter registration status, I can reference important dates, I can add this to any of my online calendars and get reminders, I can share on social media, I can do a variety of things. I can even create my own group, much like a Facebook group, and then make endorsements of candidates and share those with friends and that. So the real idea of this is, what would the real level playing field look like? Well, it would look sort of hopefully like this, where I would say, okay, this candidate John here spends $1 million, posters everywhere. Steve here spends $100 on his campaign, but really they're side by side on this ballot. I'm going to give each one of them a couple of minutes and then I'll pick my favorite. That's it. So if John wants to spend millions of dollars on name recognition, that's fine, but it's not going to do him anything because I'm really going to give each one of these candidates a couple of minutes. This right here is 94116. It's a San Francisco, California zip code. This is the California ballot that's coming up. And I do think a guy named Zoltan, who ran for president last election, is running for governor as a libertarian. I don't know if you guys have a libertarian primary that you can do, but again, I can set one up for you guys real simply, and that is that you just, it would look like a ballot just like this, but we would set up some security stuff so only libertarians would be there with libertarian emails or approved emails or whatever it may be, and then the candidates could use their profiles, and guys could go on and say, okay, this is the guy that I want, that type of stuff. And I can talk with you about how we can do that, or not. But let's say if Zoltan did become the candidate of choice for the Libertarian Party for governor, adding him to this ballot would be as easy as doing this. So he has already created a candidate profile. I'm sure there's not a lot of Z's here. Okay, so here he is. So now I just added him to that ballot. So you can now see he is here, and I can click on his profile and I can hear what he has to say.
For thousands of years, humans have been using science and technology to cure disease, reverse the effects of aging, and ultimately live longer. And it's working.
Yeah, and obviously he wouldn't put that on there, or maybe he would, I don't know about. But the way that you, as a candidate, edit that is you just do a cut and paste of the share URL in YouTube, and then it just plays there in real time. So you can change it every 5 seconds if you wanted to, and update your profile accordingly. Now on the back end, this goes to standardizing libertarian candidate profiles everywhere. I can, let's say maybe we pick this first area here, and this is, what it means to be a libertarian, or the top 10 things that people don't understand about libertarians, or whatever it may be. We can just go click, 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 and now there's a new video in there. We can upload it to all of the candidate profiles. I know you guys talked about having over 2,000 candidates in 2018. I can do that on the back end and get that all set up. So there's a way of really standardizing and organizing candidate profiles for the Libertarian Party, as well as using it as an outreach to Libertarian members, so that they can then manage their vote and they can make sure they know the candidate that's on their ballot, but also on other ballots as well. And we're working on some ways for some search options and that type of thing for people if they're interested to see all the Libertarian candidates throughout the country, and then they can, for example, we might as well use his again. They can go back here, and then if they want, they could donate to his candidacy. We partner with a group called Stripe. They take, I think, about 3 or 4%. There's a form you can fill out, and then the rest goes to the candidate. So it's a real easy way for all the candidates to get set up with donations, to receive donations. They have to do a little stuff on the back end as far as what account they want it to go to and that type of stuff, but it's pretty simple and pretty straightforward. The other thing that I had in mind was the Libertarians really using Win My Vote as a messaging sort of as a marketing campaign, and saying, we don't want your money, we want your vote, and this is the new level playing field, or compare us side by side, we'll take the Pepsi challenge, or whatever you guys can think of as far as saying that we're different, this platform's different, give us 5 minutes, whatever it may be. I think that's a great message. And for those people that are in the middle that haven't really decided, or that maybe want to leave their party, that's great. And this is a perfect way for someone to say, you know what, I don't even like the Libertarian Party, but this is a great site. I want to see who's running for lieutenant governor, or I want to see who's running for superintendent of public construction in California, and here are the 3 guys. Oh, and by the way, this guy Tony is a libertarian. Sure, I'll give him a couple of minutes. And it's a way for the voter to not have to go chasing around the Libertarian to find out what he's all about, and vice versa, and the Libertarian not to have to spend tons of money trying to get a hold of the voter that's all too elusive. Here it's like, okay, I'll give him a chance, why not? It's a click away. So hopefully that makes sense. And again, would love to talk with you guys about it. It's free to groups and organizations and parties like yourself. It's free to voters. Right now we're charging candidates $99 per election. So even though if it's 2018 or even 2020, it's $100. The way that we have that set up, it works perfectly because it verifies that it is the candidate who they say they are. And it also keeps the ballot clean from people that think it would be funny to run for governor or something. There's a way for us to kind of clean that up, but if we left it open for free, you'd have someone playing around making 5 profiles, et cetera, et cetera. So that's something we can talk about. If you guys have a way of coordinating lots of candidates that sign up quickly, we can try to reduce that cost or do something along those lines. A lot of it has more to do with just the software and how the software works. I can't have guys coding stuff for new type of pricing stuff, without a little bit of warning and then a little bit of money just to pay for that type of stuff. But again, would love to talk with you guys about what we can do. I'm not sure if I mentioned in the beginning, we do the National Student Parent Mock Election, which is about 5 million students and teachers nationwide. We did it in 2016. We also did the National Association of Student Council. They have a once a year sort of national gathering. It was 1,100 students. We did a mock election for them and have some great stories about Gary Johnson and Jill Stein, and how the students were very high on those candidates, and then the people who were organizing the National Association of Student Council were not very high on even including them in there. So there was a little bit of drama there, but it was all good for Gary Johnson's support. Anyway, would love to talk with you guys. I think that there's lots of other things that we can do as well. I mean, this site has lots of tentacles growing in different directions, and would love to talk with you guys about that as well. All right, bye-bye.